Welcome back to the 2025 Dream Nations Cup at the rink at American Dream Mall. Will Wiggleman here with you for the second of two games in the Men's Division 2. This one between Mexico and the Caribbean. Brazil got the win over Pakistan in the first Division 2 game today. And one of these two teams will be able to join Brazil at the top of the table in Division 2. Of course, Division 2 men's, different from Men's Division 1 and the Women's Division, which have 6 teams. This one just a 4-team division, so all 4 are guaranteed to play in a semi-final game. These games will decide the seedings for those semi-final games, and then, of course, have a bronze medal game and a championship game in each division. A big game here between a Mexican side who's been here before and a Caribbean side making its Dream Nation Cup debut. The Mexicans, of course, last year finished dead last in the tournament, but certainly a lot of positives, a big stepping stone for the program. And we begin our anthems with the Mexican national anthem. And those are your anthems for this afternoon's game between the Caribbean and Mexico. Of course, the Caribbean made up of players with heritage from multiple different countries around the Caribbean region. And Mexico are neighbors to the south here in the US of A. Again, Mexico was here last year, and they did play, again, to an 0-3 record, lost, finished last 6 out of 6 teams, but talked about how great of an experience it was for the program just to get that exposure and take that big first step towards legitimizing their program. And you know, they earned a lot of respect from the rest of the teams in that tournament last year, and now they come back a little bit stronger and with hopes to bring home some hardware in the newly created Men's Division 2. First, they will have to take down a Caribbean team that is playing for the very first time in the Dream Nations Cup. We'll have our first face-off here between Elias Musi of Mexico and we are underway, as it was Darius Nichols for Caribbean who took the face-off opposite. Mexico looking for the first opportunity. Here's Jay Spencer, had the puck taken off his stick, shot on net, just missed wide. Here comes the Caribbean. Nichols, 1-on-2, gets back to the forehand, beautiful move, but he couldn't get a shot away as Nichols split through the defense. And now we are getting a whistle and maybe our first penalty of the game. Mexico's penalty box is open, and stepping in, let's see who that is that was stepping in, but give you our goaltenders for tonight. Moises Balas for Mexico, represented Mexico in last year's Dream Nations. The 18-year-old played for American Hockey Academy, 16U AAA. Off the face-off, Caribbean gets a shot on, and it was blocked on the way through. Caribbean starting with Lee Jaquan Conlu, 23-year-old, getting the start for their first game. Caribbean do have 2 goaltenders on the roster as that shot gloved by Conlu, and he will hang on for a whistle and a face-off. Alejandro Garcia is the one in the box. Probably the most decorated member of this Mexico team. And he helped Mexico to a World Junior U18 Division 3B gold medal 2016-17 and a Division 3A silver medal 2017-18. They're really representing Mexico on the biggest international stages at the U18 level. 25 years old now, from Mexico City. He also played ACHA Division II hockey at Bryn Athyn College. He sits in the box now as Caribbean sets up the power play. Man tripped up, and we will have another penalty against Mexico. Looks like a 5-on-3 coming for Caribbean. Unless I got the call wrong, I may have. Looks like that was not indeed the call. So we'll just continue with a face-off outside the Mexican end. Nichols able to kick it in. Maybe it was a hand pass or something of that nature. Onyx King on it. Moved up and just out of the zone. Alfredo Morris back for it. Tried to make a pass off. Here comes Nichols flying up. Nichols works to the forehand. Nichols into the backhand, and a big save by Balas. And Balas hyping up his bench after that stop. Up comes the Caribbean. Morris tried to center, got all the way through. Played by Morris again, shot right on, gloved and held by Ballas with a little bit of flair flashing the leather. .23 seconds left on the power play for the Caribbean. They win the face-off back, set the man advantage back up. Worked along the boards, out to the point, and it escaped the point man, Mustafa. Caribbean trying to work back in. It's Nunez with a shot shouldered away by Ballas. Center feed, Morgan got a good chance. And Ballas able to come up with another save. Back to 5-a-side hockey as the penalty is over. Nunez working all the way around the net. Got it up high, got it back. Nunez all the way across. Now Mustafa couldn't push it out in front, and the Mexicans take over. This one sent all the way down, and that is an icing from Alexander Burdekin and the Mexicans. Still searching for our first goal. Just a few minutes gone in our second of two men's Division II round robin games on day one at the Dream Nations. Off this face-off, it's tied up. Shot towards the net, blocked. And now chipped out of the zone. Taken back by Khalil Rizvi, number 88, trying to push his way through, couldn't do it. And now Mexico back up. Worked all the way around the net, wraparound try wouldn't go. Sent all the way back down and around again. Rizvi tried to push it along. Caribbean looking to work out. Kept in for a moment. And here's Bartolo turning the corner. All the way around behind the net, centering feed. Arias just fanned on that shot. Puck may have bounced up on him at the last moment. Bartolo back in. On his backhand, gets the shot away and couldn't find the target from in tight. Nichols trying to one-hand it out of the zone, couldn't do it. King took it away from Musi. King takes a look to the net, save Ballas, and he has the rebound. We continue on here. Early stages of period one between Mexico and the Caribbean. Off the draw, got past the point man Morris. Caribbean has to reset back in the neutral zone. Fernando Slade back to Morris. Got to go back across to Slade. Back this side once again. Nichols looking to one-hand it through. That was knocked away. Chipped up and in. Slade takes a look. Off the glass, comes all the way out. Mexico able to cut it off. That's Musi with it. Push it over to the far side. Nicolas Lopez puts it right back deep. Mexico looking to get in on the forecheck as Slade reverses it right up towards his bench. Taken away, Lopez lost it, and then a Caribbean player lost an edge. Musi off the near side boards, Singleton back in his own end for it. 9.5 to go in period one. Singleton flying up the right wing side. Made a pass off. Trying to get it back to Singleton behind the net. Couldn't do it. Pass out in front and a glove save by Ballas, and he'll cover up. Abdulazim Mustafa out of Trinidad was the one who got that shot off. Pardon me, that was Daniel Tolley. It was 10, not 19, who took that shot from the slot. Another face-off to Ballas' left. Looking on the near side, shot came in and a kick save by Ballas. Push back over this way. Mexico off the boards, out of the zone. Tolley trying to push his way through. Has some help. Tolley on the backhand, tried to put it out in front where Charles DeBow was. But couldn't get it to him. Tolley able to push through. Drags it in. Tolley on his backhand trying to finish the play. Put it right into Ballas from behind the net. And Ballas able to slide over and cover up. He was scrambling. Caribbean with some good chances early. They've carried the play. Looking for their first ever Dream Nations goal. The face-off here to Ballas' right. And off the draw, it's tied up. Ryan Bartolo hits it around behind the net. Pass back up to Bartolo. Has Musi and Arias with him. Bartolo from the outside. Blocker save by Conlu. Arias tied up. Back in come the Caribbean. Popped out. Nunez. A shot blocked by a sliding Bartolo. He sacrifices the body. Pulled off the wall. Caribbean trying for the wrap. Couldn't do it. Sent over to the far side. Bartolo able to chip it along. Tried to head after it, but beaten there by Risby. Risby slid it to a teammate. Pass up to Nunez, got through him, but icing waved off. As Royce Dixon Child comes back for it, the San Jose, California native, played AAU hockey for Hofstra University this season. Penalty coming up against Caribbean, it looks like. Of course, Hofstra University is also where I played Division III AAU hockey more than a few years ago. Nice to see Hofstra represented here in this tournament. Dixon Child, 19 years of age. His Mexican side getting a power play here as the penalty being assessed to Brady Johnson of the Caribbean. A chance for Mexico to get on the board first. Off the face-off, it's Morris trying to fend off Arias. And now a penalty coming up. And quickly, Arias has taken a penalty, and that will erase the rest of this Mexican power play. So we'll have some 4-on-4 hockey here for the next minute and 51 seconds. Off this face off, Slade from the point. That one knocked down in front. Nichols chases after it in the corner. Sent down low, up behind the net. Pass across, that was cut off. Up comes Mexico. Pass was off of Lopez's stick though. Loose puck, swept up by Mendoza. King trying to escape from Lopez, had knocked off his stick. Here's Lopez by himself, 1-on-4. Shot up off a stick and out of play. Shots right now 9-3 in favor of the Caribbean. Still looking for our first goal. 6:25 left in period number 1. This is the first game for Caribbean and Mexico in this Dream Nations tournament. Mexico went winless in last year's tournament. Caribbean in the tournament for the very first time. Sent towards the front of the net. That one taken. Javier Chaveste trying to push it out. Now DeBow. Still 4-on-4 for another 42 seconds. That'll be a 9-second Caribbean power play, barring any more penalties. Chaveste wins the race. Dixon Child after it, taken away. DeBow a shot, he scores! Came out in front for Charles DeBow, and he breaks the ice for the Caribbean. Perfect shot to the blocker's side on the netminder Ballas. And the Caribbean has its first ever Dream Nations Cup goal. And it comes courtesy of Charles DeBow, who played semi-pro this season in the APHL with the Summit City Distillers. He has pro experience in the FPHL with the Delaware Thunder, Battle Creek Rumblebees, and St. Clair Shores Fighting Saints. And the 36-year-old finds the back of the net first. They'll give Dwight Singleton and Daniel Tully the assists on that goal. Now Caribbean on the board. 5:35 left to go in period 1. Off this face off. Kicked up and moving up with it is Burdekin. Burdekin gets to the slot, and that one just went over top of the cage. Puck may have gone up on edge just as he went to shoot it. Long lead pass, and Nunez off the bench. He's tied up with Burdekin. Now Nunez trying to work up. Man coming out of the Mexico penalty box gave him some trouble. It's 5-on-5 hockey right now. There's Nunez from the outside, hit the side of the cage. Push back over to the far side. Caribbean working behind the net. Comes up the near side wall. Pass comes out, the shot stopped by Ballas, and he's able to control the rebound. Morgan was able to put that one on net. The 17-year-old Stephen Morgan trying to double Caribbean's advantage. 11-3 the shots in favor of the Caribbean. They're looking to go back on the attack after the face-off win, but a turnover. Here comes Arias, has some help. Arias spins, looks on goal, and a save by Kunlu. Good back check by the Caribbeans to keep that chance from causing minimal damage. Ballas all the way out of his goal crease into the corner to play that puck up. Gave it away, but it's swept past the post by Jeremy Silverman. And the Mexicans survived that dangerous moment as Balas came all the way out and turned it over. Silverman hands it off. The shot towards the net was blocked. And then getting run over there was Andy Culpepper. Up comes Musi. 1-on-3. Musi couldn't step around Morris. Fed over to the left wing side, tipped in by Arias. And Mexico will get a full line change. Here's Musi with a shot from the outside. Conlu able to handle it and get a whistle and a face-off. .322 left to go in period one. It's been controlled by the Caribbean side, and they have the game's only goal. Caribbean looking to work it out. Here's Spencer. Ito picked. Mexico looking to take advantage, but Musi had it jump away from him. Worked in. King a shot off the side of the post. Comes back towards King. King finds some space in the corner. Puts it up high. Sent down low. Suazo, pardon me. Over towards the corner. Nichols on it. Caribbean cycling here. Nichols gets to the slot on his backhand. His shot wouldn't go. Kept in at the line. Shot by King, deflected. Couple of saves from Balas. As Spencer got a couple of chances while going down to the ice. Everybody separate here. We did see some nastiness in the Brazil-Pakistan game, the other men's Division II game today, just a little while ago. And almost a little bit there, but you see it early on. LJ Spencer going to those dirty areas right at the front of the net. He sets up there on the power play. And he was there again, got a couple of whacks on the rebound. Balas able to keep it in front of him and cover up, get this face off. DeBow, the goal scorer, swept it all the way down and around. Spencer, the first one on it. Up to the top. Back to Spencer, one-timer, didn't get much on it, and then DeBow hit the post. It came right to him. That play started from Rosario. Comes all the way in on Conlu, and he'll hang on. Brandon Rosario moved it down to Spencer, didn't get much on it. But that's Lance Spencer, number 43. As opposed to LJ Spencer. He didn't get much on it, and then Charles DeBow followed it up and ended up hitting the post through all kinds of traffic. Picked off by Musi. He couldn't do anything with it. Here comes the Caribbean. Singleton trying to dance through his shot. Knocked down by Balas, and he'll cover up. And now some more extracurriculars behind the net. Players being separated here. They head back to their respective benches. But hands got up. And it looks like we have a penalty here against Lance Spencer. And might Spencer be the only one going to the box? I believe so. Spencer having a conversation with one of the referees. See if anybody else is going in. Doesn't look like it. We'll get our second Mexican power play of this game. Mexico 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Their first one lasted only 9 seconds before they took a penalty and made it 4-on-4. Caribbean bench making noise ahead of this defensive zone faceoff. Musi has been asked to leave for Mexico. He's replaced in the dot by Arias. And got through Takaya at the point. Caribbean looking for a chance. Morgan stopped by Ballas. He just got a piece. Stephen Morgan came in short-handed, looking for a chance. Now Musi couldn't poke it through. Hand off is for Rosario jumping in. Rosario curling drag shot, had some space to the blocker side of Ballas but missed the net. Now Mexico looking for a rush. Musi bulldozes over Caribbean player. Musi swooping in, trying to pick up that puck. Arias has it now. Mexico sets up on the power play. Musi. Hand off for Arias. Poked off his stick by Rosario and he clears. 50 seconds left on the period, pardon me. If the Mexicans cannot score, this power play will leak into the second. Slade up the boards. It was kept in momentarily and now cleared out. Musi back in. Musi, a little toe drag move. That didn't fool Morris. He sends it all the way down. Ballas had some trouble with it. Takaya came all the way back. Verdekin just gets it out of the zone. 12 seconds left in period one. 5 seconds left. King has it come up to him, and he'll play keep away and get the horn. Now Charles DeBow with the only goal so far. Caribbean a 1-0 lead on Mexico through 15 minutes of play. Shots on goal 14-5 in favor of the Caribbean. Mexico 13 seconds left on a power play to begin period number 2. We will be right back from the Dream Nations Cup. Getting set for the start of period number 2 in the second of 2 men's Division 2 games in day 1 of the Dream Nations Cup. Caribbean with a 1-0 lead on Mexico. Will Wiggleman here with you. Thanks so much for joining us, whether you're from a Caribbean country, whether you're from Mexico or anywhere else around the world, finding us on the Dream Nations Cup YouTube channel. Thanks for finding us. We're here at the American Dream Mall in New Jersey, which, if you think a hockey rink is the most impressive thing in this mall, it might actually not be top 5. There's a full amusement park in here, a water park, one of the largest indoor water parks around, and also a ski hill. I'm not making that up. This one pops out of play over the glass, and that's a souvenir for somebody going shopping for a birthday present. We'll get a new puck and we'll continue play. Face-off will be right in front of the Mexican bench. Again, lots of interesting things go on here in the gigantic American Dream Mall. And not the least of which, this awesome tournament that puts a spotlight on some countries that may not be known for hockey and have hockey programs that are trying to build themselves up to the next level. Here's DeBow, working it up high to Suezo, sent it through, that was blocked on the way. Now it's Musi, try to push it through, he took a hit. Suezo up the far side towards DeBow. Back behind the cage, Suezo. Lead pass, not up. Ruiz chasing after it in his own end for Mexico. Jorge Ruiz. Tried to feed it up. That was blocked away, but Franco, fresh off the bench, able to steal it from Rosario. Ortiz towards the net. Ends up on the near side, or on the far side, pardon me. Now it's Ortiz again. Tried to go back to Ruiz, was taken away. Singleton. Forced back towards the boards. Singleton cycles it deep. Nunez looked to move it down low. That was blocked away by Ruiz. Nunez spun down to the ice. Mexico able to clear their zone. Rosario escapes behind his own net, watched by Franco. Sent it off his own man on the clearing attempt. And Takaya able to get it back deep. 2 minutes gone in period 2. Still a 1-0 Caribbean lead. No shots on goal yet recorded in this middle frame. Here come the Caribbean. Shot didn't get much on it. So it was blocked up by a Mexican defender and covered up by Ballas. That was Stephen Morgan who got the opportunity. It's our final men's game of the day. After this one, we turn it over to the ladies for the final 3 of the night. The women's division will wrap up day 1. Rosario shot from the point, blockered away by Ballas. Puck is still loose. And finally, enough bodies crash on top of it to draw the whistle. And Ballas sprawled out on his stomach, now just getting back to his skates. Seems to be all right. A couple of players from both sides crashing in the crease. We'll get a face-off to Ballas' left just as soon as he's all set to go. Off this draw, one back by the Caribbean. Rosario tried to bounce it down deep. Push back to the far side. Mexico looks for an outlet. Musi trying to bring in that pass. Played it to an area. Caribbean picked it off. Verdekin off the near side boards. Couldn't get it through. Battled for on the half wall. And up comes Mexico. Bartolo tried to hand off for Musi. Puck is loose. Musi, one-timer by Arias. That didn't get all the way through to Conlu. Musi tried to flip it behind the cage, couldn't do it. Sent all the way back down to Mexico's end. Worked up the near side boards. Bartolo with a shot glove down and held by Conlu. We'll get another face-off deep in the Caribbean end here. Mexico trying to push, trying to find that first goal, and trying to tie up this game. One tossed out of the zone. King hustling after it. He's got it, and a save by Ballas. The rebound also stopped. And going tumbling into the net there was one of the Caribbean players. Trying to hustle through for that rebound. They sent Onyx King off to the races, the 19-year-old. We're playing the EHLP this season. Got the first chance. And it was LJ Spencer got the second opportunity. A good speed from King. Someone who has represented the Caribbean in the most recent LATAM Cup. Also has been a part of 2 Challenger Series and representing the country of Jamaica in those 2 tournaments. King tried to pull it off the wall. Got all the way to Lopez. King back for it. Had his attempt blocked. Now go up to the far side. Nichols works his way in. His shot whistled past the top corner. Morris over to the far side to Slade. Steps around Dixon Child. Slade in front. Spencer! He scores! LJ Spencer able to slide that one past Ballas, and the Caribbean with a 2-0 lead. Great play there by Fernando Slade, a 39-year-old. Got it out in front, and LJ Spencer, who's been all around it throughout this early part of the game, he gets rewarded right in the slot. Caribbean certainly deserves to be up in this game, and they are up 2-0, out shooting Mexico 20-6. And it's Ruiz back for it. Sent it all the way around on the far side, kept in. Sent down low, in tight, they score again. Caribbean keeps working away. I believe it was Singleton that time, who adds a goal to his assist. Caribbean up 3-0 now. Back-to-back goals in quick succession. See if Mexico can find a response. Caribbean trying to work back in again. Past to Tolley, couldn't connect. Came out in front. Mexico able to clear it away. Now Morgan on his backhand, and Ballas able to make the save and keep it out. Caribbean continuing to press, looking like a strong team. They'll try to compete for the first ever Dream Nations Cup Men's Division II title. And last year, just a men's division and a women's division. This year, 2 men's divisions. And Division 2 for the very first time. Dixon Child will come in to take this face-off against Silverman. Off the draw, kicked back, but Takaya able to move it up to Ortiz. Caribbean looking to move back the other way. Rosario dances through. Rosario still with it, he scores! What a goal by Brandon Rosario! That's got the Caribbean bench fired up. And the Caribbean looking to run away with this one. It is 4-0 now. And that one, certainly a chance to be goal of the tournament. At least so far, it might be the nicest goal we've seen on day number 1. Artolo gave it to Musi. His shot just slipped past the post. Musi on it again as Mexico looking for some kind of response here. And here comes the Caribbean once again. Risby dropped it off, got it back, and save made by Ballas. Mexico looking for a response the other direction. Skated up the left wing side. Burdekin gets through, and then he stood up. Rosario on the left wing. Most recent goal scorer drops it off. Spencer's shot was blocked. Pinballs around, in tight. Ballas the save, and then pushed wide by LJ Spencer. King had it poked off his stick. Bartolo got it up to it. Chaveste, and he just dumps it in. Slade behind his own net. Couple of players had knocked down. LJ Spencer out for Morris. Has DeBow with him. Morris took the shot and just put it over top of the crossbar. DeBow gloves it down. Now Morris trying to push back down towards DeBow. DeBow escapes all the way around on his backhand. And that one didn't find the target. Morris couldn't pull it through. Centering pass comes all the way out. Loose puck in the slot. Mexico trying to clear it away, and they can't. Spencer tried to chip it around behind the net, couldn't do it. And here comes Musi. Musi on the right wing, flying in, tied up by Slade, and he left the puck behind. Morris after it. Lead pass taken by DeBow. Tried to float it through for Singleton, couldn't do it. DeBow on it again. It's back in on sides. This shot swallowed up by Ballas. Caribbean continuing to pressure here. 7:16 left to go in period 2. They've broken loose with 3 in the middle frame in quick succession to open up this 4-0 lead. Face-off tied up, comes over to the wall. Nunez tries to put a move on. Back to the point to Suezo. Morgan couldn't float it across, dump back in. Caribbean has to leave the offensive zone. The touch up to get back on sides. One touch, long pass, gets to the red line. Moved in, but then forced back out. Pass up to Nunez this time. Tries to send Morgan in, and he does. Morgan cuts to the middle, had it knocked off his stick. Comes Mexico, Burdekin. Got it up ahead. This one sent in off of a Caribbean defender. He's able to split a couple and move it back up for Morgan. Drop pass, a shot save, Ballas. And he'll cover up for a whistle and a face-off. Caribbean continuing to control this game. Out shooting Mexico 29-7. Up to this point, 6:05 left in the period, this second period. Another face-off deep in the Mexico end. Off the draw, shot, score! Brady Johnson took it, and he beat Ballas through lots of traffic. And a handful for the Caribbean. The Caribbean continues to control this game, and a nice job right off the face-off by Brady Johnson. Wears the Jamaican flag on his helmet. Approach 6 minutes left to go in period 2. And this lead holds into the third as Johnson shot shouldered away by Ballas. We will get running time in the third period. That is a rule here in the Dream Nations Cup. Running time for a 5 or more goal lead in the third. Look behind the net. Sent up high. Shot towards the net was fanned on. Here comes Mexico on the counter. Musi pulls it through. Got behind the cage. Musi pass out. Shot pinballed around as Takaya put it on net. Rosario able to slide it up. Backhand feed hit Bartolo. It's in his equipment. Bartolo trying to get it free, and he does. Bartolo fighting off some checks. Now the University of California, Berkeley. Brian Bartolo, 20-year-old. Played the last 2 years ACHA Division II for Cal. Here's Rosario with a pull-up move. He lost the handle. And a hand pass called against Caribbean. .450 here left in period 2. A 5-0 lead for Caribbean. Jeremy Silverman picked up the assist on the goal by Johnson, by the way. The 5th one for the Caribbean side. King steps in. Throws on the brakes. Slides it across. Slade tried to feed it down low, couldn't do it. Morris a shot, that was blocked. And backhanded all the way out. Morris looks for a long pass. That was cut off by Musi. Has to wait for his team to get onside. So all he could do was turn it in deep. King collects it at the red line. Mexico back in numbers. King centered for LJ Spencer. And comes all the way to the point to Morris. Fanned on his dump attempt to get back deep. Did get to King though. Onyx King working out of the corner. All the way around behind the net. Put it out in front. That was taken away. Up comes Lopez, but he had his stick lifted by the back-checking Nichols, who's on his horse galloping in. Nichols couldn't dangle around. Here's King a shot. That one missed wide. And it's chopped up out of play, and now pushing and shoving behind the Mexico net. Ballas getting involved. I didn't see which Mexican player was involved, as a helmet has been tossed out of the pile here. Referees trying to get control of this one. There has certainly been some testy moments throughout this game. This is really the highest the temperature has risen so far. Referees try and separate everybody. Maybe a little frustration here on the Mexican side. Heading to the box here is Nichols. And Burdekin over on the Mexican side, also heading to the penalty box. We'll see if anybody else gets thrown in the sin bin, as we like to call it. And if you're new to hockey and you want to impress your hockey friends, start using the term sin bin for the penalty box. It's always a fun piece of slang. Again, just one aside in the penalty boxes so far. Now it looks like LJ Spencer will have to join Nichols on the Caribbean side. See if we get anyone else on the Mexico side as well, or if it will be a Mexico power play. 3:40 left to go in period number 2. It's been all Caribbean. Shots 31-7, goals 5-0. They've got 5 different goal scorers: Singleton, LJ Spencer, DeBow, Rosario, and Johnson. So LJ Spencer did step out of the penalty box there momentarily and then was sent right back in. Certainly a nice showing so far for the Caribbean team. Debuted in 2023, but has already had a strong start. They finished second, this men's team did, at the 2024 Amerigol Latam Cup Division 3. And they are just trying to get themselves some hardware in their first time at the Dream Nations. They're focusing on getting their high-level players some exposure, while also giving their younger players some room to grow. And that's a huge part of developing a program. Is a lot of countries maybe have 1 or 2 players who have found their way to hockey, even if it's not a traditional hockey country. But it's about taking those guys, getting them bought into the program, and then having them help the younger generation start to come up, so then you can get more and more and more players involved and make your team even stronger. They have 5 minutes up on the board for LJ Spencer. I'll let you know as soon as the penalties come down on my sheet here. It looks like LJ Spencer has been asked to leave the game. So Spencer heading off the ice under word from referee Matthew McNulty. And Daryl Takur, the 49-year-old, will take Spencer's place in the penalty box. But a 5-minute power play here for Mexico and a chance to get themselves on the board. Bartolo over to Musi. Bounce it up top. Walk the line. Pass over to the near side. Sent across off the glass. Musi now off the wall, down the slot. His shot blockered away. Musi right back on it. He's flying around. Dixon Child tried to send it up top, but Arias couldn't bring it in. Arias under pressure. Sweeps it over to the near side for Dixon Child. Gave it back to Arias. This power play will get into period 3 for Mexico. They will start the third with still some man advantage time. Sent over to the near side. Sent back across. Bartolo for Arias. Dixon Child loads it up. His shot blocked. Caribbean trying to move out shorthanded. Couldn't do it. Dixon Child sends it in. Musi flies in on the forecheck with the steal. Musi spinning. Tried to put it out in front. Comes back to Musi. Put a shot on. Conlu's able to make the save. Behind the net, Arias couldn't make a play on the puck. Players battle on the puck and away from it. Musi, little toe drag, push it towards the net, and that one pushed just wide. Under 2 to go in period 2. Caribbean looking for a clear. They're short-handed and they get one. Ruiz and Morgan hustle after it. Morgan trying to get there short-handed. He's tripped up. Penalty coming up against Ruiz. So we will have 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. A tripping penalty coming against Jorge Ruiz. And the good speed short-handed by Stephen Morgan drawing the call. Now Caribbean will at least be able to play with an even number of men out there, 4-on-4. Spencer will take this face off against Lopez. And off the draw, Rosario down low. Spencer on the backhand. Sent it over top of the cage. Spencer again, hands off for DeBow. Slid it all the way across. Rosario straight on, his shot off the mask of Balas. It dropped right next to the crease. And Mexico able to recover. Takaya gets there. Try to move it out. Caribbean able to regroup in their own end. DeBow works his way in, his shot stopped by Balas. It was put up a valiant effort under siege, really from the opening drop. Up comes Mexico. Lopez lost the handle as he overskated it. Rosario dangles around his man. Now Singleton and all alone, and he sent it wide. Rosario tried to pull it out in front, couldn't do it. Lopez with 44 seconds left in this period. Mendoza overskated it. Back comes the Caribbean, 3-on-1. King in front, Singleton. Pass across, great save, Balas. He's looking for it, and it's underneath him. We are at a running clock now due to the 5-goal game, so it is, or maybe it's not a running clock. Clock did continue to run. I believe we're supposed to be running clock, but it's definitely a running clock for the third period. We'll find out if it is before. They might be resetting the clock here. Either way, a couple of good opportunities there for the Caribbean. They finally get the penalties here as LJ Spencer out of the game, 5 minutes for grabbing the face mask. Darius Nichols got 2 for roughing, and Alexander Burdecking got 2 for roughing during that scrum earlier on. And Spencer picking up the game misconduct. Players convening here as over by the Caribbean bench. 30.4 seconds are now what's up on the clock here in the arena at the rink at the American Dream Mall. We get set for this face-off to the left of Ballas. Still 4-on-4 here, and it's one back towards Morris. Slade straight on, that shot deflected, and they score. They have gone off a Mexican defender on the way through. Fernando Slade with the goal. Makes it 6-0 for the Caribbean. Unfortunate bounce there for Ballas and Mexico. Again, I think that went off of one of the Mexican defenders standing there right in front. So how you put the puck on the net. And it works out for Fernando Slade. Caribbean looking for more with 20 seconds to go in the period as Nichols flies in. Centering feed, Onyx's shot stopped by Ballas. Wrap chance out in front. Morris on the backhand, couldn't get it through. Nichols up top to Morris. Takes a look, tried to send it down low off a skate, and that will do it for period number 2. And Caribbean up 6-0 on Mexico in a game that's certainly had its fair share of pushing and shoving, and there's a little bit more. Morris trying to get Nichols back to his bench. Everybody separates, and we will pause for the second intermission, and we will be right back here at the American Dream Mall with the Dream Nations Cup coming up in just a couple minutes. Getting set for the start of period number 3 in this men's Division II round-robin matchup between the Caribbean and Mexico in the Dream Nations Cup 2025. Opening game for both sides in this tournament. It's been all Caribbean, leading 6-0. Shots 37-9 in favor of the Caribbean. We will have 4-on-4 for the next 15 seconds, and then 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining on what was a 5-minute Mexico power play. That came off of LJ Spencer's major penalty. We'll get the draw here at center to start things off in this third period, and still 4-on-4. Rosario back for it. And now Mexico on the power play as they get their man out of the box. Caribbean working short-handed here. We will have a running clock for this third period unless Mexico scores the next goal. Nichols chases after it with Arias. Nichols knocked down to the ice. Now it's pushed up the boards. Mexico works in. Bartolo on his backhand, and a penalty coming up. And it looks like Nichols and Arias are both going to the penalty boxes. So I'll see if this affects on-ice manpower. Doesn't seem like it will. Actually, maybe it will. Looks like we'll have, we have 4-on-4 right now. Oh, Mexico needs one more. Yes, Mexico does need one more. And now we'll get Lucy out there. Shot off the face-off. Goes wide. Here's Musi on it. Sent across. Seem to be two players wearing Musi number 7 jerseys. Guess we'll have to figure that out for Mexico. As Rosario able to move it along. Caribbean back to full strength as the major penalty expires. Morgan trying to push through. Morgan gets in and had it knocked away. Bartolo spinning back. Musi trying to pull it up. Musi on the backhand. Behind the net. Tried to center, couldn't do it. Musi cuts it off. A drive, that one went wide. Musi down behind the cage. He's closed off by Rosario. Soft pass up, and Caribbean offsides at the line as Nunez brought it over, but just a bit too eager to cross the line was Stephen Morgan. Again, running clock here in the third with a 5-goal lead. It's actually a 6-goal lead for Caribbean, but 5+ goals in the third period means a running clock as Suizo had that one get by. Takaya. Popped out, Suizo. They will step in front of it. Caribbean moving up with numbers. Shot towards the net, goes wide. Mexico trying to work something on the counter. Suizo able to send it in. Did so with his hand. Mexico not happy about it. We play on. Caribbean able to dig it out, but Johnson couldn't pull it out in front. And now Ruiz chasing after it. Gets into the offensive zone, but offside at the line. It should be a quick third period if we continue with the running clock. Our next game coming up at 5:10 p.m. Eastern Time. More Caribbean hockey, but it's the women as we begin the women's slate of day one here at the Dream Nations. The Caribbean against the Netherlands. Then again, that one 5:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just about a half an hour from now. And if the Caribbean women can put on as good of a showing, or even close to it, as the Caribbean men have, well, that would certainly be a great day for Caribbean hockey. That one will be a rematch of last year's women's championship as the puck came in on Ballas. He's able to jump on top of the rebound to make the save. Netherlands defeated Caribbean women's in the best-of-3 final last year. There will not be any best-of-3s this year. And Alex Trepanier will have that game on the play-by-play. He'll have the next two, and then I'll be back for the final game of that women's slate, in case there are some out there curious about the broadcaster schedule. As King sent it through, that one blocked on the way, and it's chased after in the corner. Nichols heading back to the Caribbean bench, holding his face. Meanwhile, puck stuck up on the near side boards and slipped back towards King. King looking to weave his way up ice. King gets in, is shot from the outside, and Ballas may have gone to piece. Morris behind the net. Out to Slade. Didn't get much on that shot. And this one covered up by Ballas, and meanwhile, a couple players go down right in front. We'll get another whistle and another face-off here. Possibly, or no penalty, pardon me. Line back up for another draw. Currently 6-0 for the Caribbean. Mexico looks to work out. Sent over to the far side. Bartolo trying to push it in deeper. Taken away, Caribbean. Nunez. He'll work out with it. Has help joining him. Nunez gets in, drops it off. Cut to the middle. Shot didn't get away cleanly. Morgan trying to tie up. Now it's pushed up high. Nunez walks the line. Fanned on the shot. And now here comes Musi. Two Caribbean defenders back. Musi works in. Couldn't make a move around Rosario. Got back to the puck. Sends it behind the net. They dig away. Musi comes out with it. This one bounced off the boards and out. Bartolo back for it ahead of Morgan. Tipped along, Arias takes a look, and now he'll head up ice. Caribbean back, all 5 defending. Arias has poked up his stick. Musi looks up towards the top, and now he'll cycle it deep. That's taken back by the Caribbean team. Nunez one-on-one, able to get back to it. Nunez with some space, centering feed, the shot, they score! A 7th for the Caribbean team. 7-0. Six minutes now left to go in the third. Caribbean continues to pile it on. This one sent around by Chaveste. Moved up. It's Silverman trying to send it in deep. The other Musi, again, 2 number 7 Musi jerseys out there for Mexico. 2 different players. Will the real Elias Musi please stand up? I thought he'd been all over the ice and seemingly out there the entire time. That might be why, as Ballas able to knock that one down with his head. Centering feed comes all the way through for Suazo at the point. Looking towards the net and shooting. That was Tale, and he had his shot blocked, comes back to him. Tale couldn't dangle around a Mexican defender. He's back on it. Tale centering pass, and the one-timer whistles wide off the stick of Culpepper. Suazo off the boards, down deep and back around this side. Mexico able to escape the zone. Here comes Musi. Plays it back for Lopez. Clap back around, got through Culpepper, and all the way down. Mexico back for it in their own end. Under 4 to play. Dropped off, Lopez couldn't make a move, it's taken away. Here comes Nichols on a breakaway, and he rose that one into the protective netting, out of play. Three and a half to go in this one, as Darius Nichols was bidding for one. Playing the USPHL Premier and the NCDC and U18 AAA in the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights organization this year, as King's shot swallowed up by Ballas. 18-year-old Nichols has certainly been everywhere, showing off his speed. Three Caribbean players with multi-point nights here. Singleton, Tale, Slade. And here's Nichols. No points yet for him. He dances in. Nichols, a shot missed on the short side. Dixon Child gave it across. That's taken back. Nichols again flying in, and that one sticked away by Ballas. Knocked the goal stick out of his hands. But a good reactionary save from Ballas. We approach 2 minutes left to go in this one. Getting set for another face-off deep in Mexican territory. Lance Spencer trying to win the face-off back. Turning with it is Rizvi, pardon me. Held up along the boards, they dig away. Sent back to the line, good keep by Lance Spencer, over towards DeBow. On goal, sticked away by Ballas. Came out in front, DeBow drops it, Rosario, shot punched out. And again, Ballas has had a very strong game. He's been under siege nearly the entire time since the opening puck drop, and he has done a great job for his team. As icing called here. Unfortunately for Ballas, he's going to take the loss. His Mexican team will turn their attention to Pakistan. Tomorrow, that will be the opening game of day 2 of the Dream Nations Cup. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mexico, Pakistan. And Pakistan also lost today to Brazil. And that is who the Caribbean will face tomorrow, immediately following that Mexico-Pakistan game. 9:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be Caribbean, Brazil, Mexico, Pakistan tomorrow on day number 2 at the Dream Nations. But Caribbean will end day 1 at the top of Men's Division 2 after a 7-0 win over Team Mexico. And game MVP has been chosen as Lee Joquan Conlu, the netminder, becoming the second netminder with a shutout at the Dream Nations today, following Daniil Karabaghassian of Armenia. So a shutout win for Caribbean in their Dream Nations Cup debut. And they will try and move on and move to 2-0. Again, when they face Brazil tomorrow. Again, Mexico taking on Pakistan tomorrow morning. Men's Division 2 will open up day 2 of the Dream Nations Cup. But once again, coming up next for the Dream Nations Cup, you find it on our YouTube channel. We turn it over to the ladies and the Caribbean side for the women, taking on Netherlands, a rematch of last year's final that the Netherlands won. So the defending champs against the defending runner-ups, coming up just about 15 minutes from now. So find it on the Dream Nations Cup YouTube channel. But for now, thanks so much for tuning in. Will Wiggleman took you through this one. Caribbean with a resounding win to open up their tournament. We will see you next time. We'll be right back with the women's slate starting up next here from the Dream Nations Cup.